Yahoy, mateys, and welcome to Wolf Farms.
Arr.
Arr.
Oh wait, it's not Talk Like a Pirate Day, is it?
No.
Oh. It's Cheese Day.
Say cheese.
Say cheese. This is my picking on the farm segment. Only it's over my head, so I remember all of the things I need to tell you. So.
Yep. And we're doing this because Ravelry's having the little crazy hats over the names for April Fools, and kind of goes a little bit over April Fool's Day. Yeah. And
so I got to wear this hat that long?
You got to wear it that long.
They're going to love me at work when I go there tomorrow. I have to explain that one to them.
So welcome to new viewers, and thank you for checking us out, and welcome back to returning listeners.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Dawn,
also
known as a Knitting Wolf.
And I'm James, also known as Wolf Photo. So, say cheese. All right, let's get this show on the road, huh?
You said you wanted to do
Yeah,
that.
I know. Well, all right. Well, this podcast is brought to you by Wolf Farms. You can find us at wolffarms.net on the internet. This month, starting today, April 1st, the scent of the month is fresh cut roses. Anything in our store that's scented products, scented fresh cut roses, such as our...
I guess I should have been showing it.
Such as our hand lotion or our herbal soaps are on sale right now, 25% for the whole month. So you can stock up for your Mother's Day gifts. If you're putting together something for your mother, that would be a nice addition. We have other scents if she likes other scents, but this month, scent of the month that's on sale is fresh cut roses. So come by, check it out, and you might find something you like. So.
And I also wanted to still mention Slip Stitch Studio still has the coupon code for Wolf Farms listeners, giving you 10% off in her shop, and she just this weekend added a bunch of needle holders, needle nooks I think she calls them now, and she added quite a bunch of stuff. Can't remember all this stuff. So go check her out, and the code is WolfFarms421. You have till April 21st to use the code.
All right, go check it out.
Yep.
I know Dawn's loving her needle nooks.
I love them.
So you will as well. So.
Yep. Is that Farmer Jim I hear?
Oh, yeah, he's coming in from the farm. Who you got with us today?
A domestic house cat.
All
and
right.
Who is that little kitty? Who's the little bitty kitty?
Cosmo.
He is huge.
Yeah.
We should weigh him one of these days. So.
We did the other day. He's only 16 pounds.
Only 16 pounds, huh?
Yeah. Maybe I didn't get the fur weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks bigger.
And it's his
7th birthday.
Happy birthday, Cosmo. He's what we consider to be our Gumby cat, because you can bend him anyway, and he just hangs out. As you can see, he's not going to fight.
He doesn't have bones.
He just hangs out and...
And you know how cats are supposed to know that you're supposed to land on their feet? Yeah.
Yeah, he broke that rule.
Yeah.
He don't know.
He's special.
Very special.
All right. Okay, Cosmo, happy birthday.
Bye.
Bye, Farmer Jim. So
what's in the coop?
Yeah.
Are you going to start right in?
I think so.
Okay, in my coop is my silver pumpkin bag, is my Spectra. It's a Stephen West pattern done on size 5 needles. And one day this will be off the needles. Really, it's with the Two Knitlet Chicks podcast, and their knit along actually ends April 15th. So I got to get cracking.
Yeah, get cracking on that.
And then also Knittables is having a Stephen West, and she said old UFOs can even be entered. Oh. So.
See, I know you'll knit more now because you're into color.
Yeah. When I was in this brown this week, it's like, ugh.
See, now that you're in color, I know you'll get excited to keep going. Just one more section.
So you can see where my little Dicky Doo is. And that was the brown's tough section, because I'm just like, ugh. It's not even a pretty brown. It's kind of a taupey, pooey brown. But see, it's getting into the nice pink. Yay.
Yeah. something like that helps bring out the color more, though. So
Yeah, it does.
It kind of makes it stand out. So
Yeah, and this is done in Knit Picks Chroma, the Sunrise colorway, and Knit Picks Stroll in black on Knit Picks needle. And this show is sponsored by, no, I'm just kidding. So that's a fun knit. And then I started the day before my Lady Edith. And this is by Carrie Steinmetz, Knit Pearl Girl. That is the Knit Pearl Girl podcast. And she had gifted me this pattern. Very pretty. And I'm doing it in the Dream in Color Smooshy Happy Forest. Can you imagine?
in green, I know.
What's funny, it's not even for me though.
Yeah.
So
You still get to enjoy it while you
yeah,
knit
I love it. This is such a pretty color. I've had this in the lace. I might still have it in the lace. And here's the little bit I've already done. And I think I'm doing this on, yep, size 5s. Size 5 Knit Picks. And it has my little knit cubby pig markers at Knittables. There it went. The little pig just went wee wee wee. You don't want to show.
He's
There we
hiding
go.
from you. There we go.
There we go. Yay.
In pink, of course.
Yep. Pink and green.
Pink and green, 2 favorite colors.
Yep. So I only did one repeat, and 'cause I kind of got startitis and a lot of projects on the needles. So and that's in my Easter Snoopy bag. Because I have to, you know, Easter's coming up next weekend.
Good. Decorate, huh?
Yep.
Outfit your projects with the holiday
Yep.
footage.
So, it's making a lot of scratchy sounds. And then, see, I'm surprised I really have this much on the needles. Then Lauren of the Limb Knit Crochet podcast, and I have a tangle mess, is having Afterthought Sock April in her group. And so I had to get these casted on. I'm going to do it 2 at a time, toe up for you.
Thank you.
These are my wolf photo socks. Although this is not, looks like little eyelashes or eyebrows. Just call
Nice.
me Groucho Marx. So, and this is done in the Desert Vista Dye Works Wolf Farm logo colorway. I think it's focusing on your face.
Yeah, I'm trying to hide.
Maybe if I back.
There
we go. And I balled it up in 2 separate balls, so.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep, and
Like
she
that
just
guy.
posted it up into her group, in her Art Fire shop, and might have gone and snagged a few.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep. And this is done on size 1 circulars with a 40-inch cable. And I'm going to use the Laura Linneman Lala Knits pattern, because I'm going to put in an Afterthought heel, because duh, I just said it's Afterthought April. And by the way, Lauren's Randolph won.
Yay.
Yay! So she gets lots of goodies. I think I was just as excited as she was when she found out.
Cool.
And this is, of course, my socks had to go in my sock monkey bag. And this is Silver Pumpkin.
Nice.
Yay, Faye. I love these because they can just fit on my arm and I can just knit away.
Yeah.
And it's teeny and it smooshes right into my Namaste bag.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm going to jump in here and show you my work in
In the
what's in the
coop.
coop, because we talked about this, and I felt obligated to come on here and show you that I've done some knitting. And so there you go. There's my Dicky Doo, and I did 2 whole rows on my, I think this is going to be a washcloth or just a test knit, but I could see it's been a while, and my
a lot tighter.
gauge is a lot tighter. So, but anyway, so I actually did 2 rows. So I'll have to move my Dickie-Doo up, let you guys see I do another row or 2, you know, sometime. This is about as much time as extra time I have as I'm rushing before we film to go in and put 2 rows on the washcloth. So.
It's been a busy week. It has just flown by. It's like,
crazy.
where'd it go?
Yeah, I know. This whole week's been flash. But here we are, back again. So.
And it's like, I don't even know really what even happened. I was a little under the weather.
Yeah.
I got the stomach bug from Knit Group. And then Jimmy's got it, and it's like, you know, it kind of... So then everything's catch up.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's my... I didn't want to be anticlimactic, so I wanted to throw this in the middle of all Dawn's great stuff that she's doing. So, you know, wah, 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 wah. Okay, but then we'll get into some better looking knitting and let her go on with... so we can at least finish up this segment on a high note.
See, now you need to double up for
What's
next week. Maybe you'll have 4 rows next
Maybe
week.
I'll fold it in half and it'll look like 4 rows. So anyway, so yeah, so I did actually do some knitting. So
Do you remember what size needles those are?
This size. I don't know. I'm sure
7.
Size 7.
Oh, you're lucky it's even written
Oh
on
yeah,
there.
look at that. I'm fortunate enough that it's written on. These are what brand are these? These are.
It's Cocoon.
It's in the green package. Clove. Or is
Is
it
it
clove?
clover?
Yeah, clover.
Ooh, you're good.
See, I remember that sort of thing. But anyways, that size needle. So anyway, so on to more interesting.
That
knits.
was all my in the coops.
That was? Oh, that's right.
Because I've flown.
Okay. Wah, 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 wah. Sorry about that. So. Okay, well, anyways, that's it. So now I guess on to flown the coop. So we got a long ways to go with this. So.
Yeah, but it's not flying.
But yeah,
too
so
good.
eventually it'll get there.
So what's flown the coop? I've got quite a bit.
Yeah.
I did another dishcloth or cloth. This is the pineapple where SpongeBob lives. That's what I always think about when I see pineapples. Pineapple under the sea. Hey! He goes pretty good.
Hey, you're tying it all in together.
Yeah. So this is one of my grandma's gifts. And then I have finished the banana I had started last week. And the designer of this is Kristen Pate. And it's called Fruit Cloths. And this one was also entered in the Knit Me Happy podcast group. Rachel, Tiny Geek Crafter, is having the endometriosis awareness. So anything yellow.
Hey, so get on there.
Yep.
Post it up. Get knitting in yellow. And
Hey, yeah.
hey.
You gonna finish that for the knit along?
Nah, I doubt it. Like I said, it's
These are even blocked.
this is aging. It's improving with age. So
marinating.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So
2 cloths, so I can get all the cloths together
Yeah, we
and
got
make
your
a
gift
basket.
gift stuff taken care of.
Yep. And then I had to knit one of Lauren's, another one of her patterns, Limb Knit Crochet on Ravelry. And it's the Lucille the pocket bug. And of course, I had to choose green and pink. And
Do you see a theme going here?
I
This
know,
is
huh? And she's got a shiny belly button. And
so
she
you
had
gotta
a
back it up a little bit there.
and she had a whole photo shoot outside. She just kept flying around into all the bushes, and it was funny. Our little girl duck, JJ, the one with the little odd wings, she was following me the whole time. She's going whack 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 whack, and she just kept following me. She wanted it. So this was a really quick little crochet project, and it helps to read because I was like crocheting away. It was all green. And I'm like, when does that pink come in, Lauren? And I'm like, contrasting color. CC means something in a pattern. And so I just ripped it back real quick and added my pink in. And then I really like how she says, see, I did read this much, guys, to when to put the eyes and the little mouth and the antenna on before you stuff it and stuff. So, you know, that was smart. But one thing I did do is I wove in a little bitty thread. I noosed her.
To make it
so it was more like a neck on her. So, yeah, I think she's really cute. She'll probably go hang out in the wolf farm area. Although JJ was like,
You have to make one just for her, huh?
I know.
See what she does with it.
It was so funny because, you know, she'll usually make a sound when she's walking, but she was like, you know, real loud. And it's like, of course, when I hit record on my phone,
yeah.
Just like the pig, he stops playing too.
Well, she's funny because she'll be walking around on our back patio area, and just all of a sudden out of the blue, she's just like, no reason. She's quite entertaining. So
yeah, I like them all wandering around. So very quick, Nick, go knit yourself a Lucille. I actually took her picture with a gnome, so I called her Gnomeo and Juliet. Which is a really good movie too. So, and then I knit a preemie hat, and this was done with Karen Everett's pattern on Ravelry. And this is done in Sunshine Yarns New Moon Alice. And it turns out really cute. I actually started this at the movies. We went to see the Hunger Games. Which was so good. And then I quit knitting because it was just so good. I was enjoying the movie. So it got put away. So, yeah, this is done on size 2s. These are really fun. And then I crocheted, because I was testing this pattern. I've done it before, but I couldn't remember. It's called Teresa's 10-minute preemie hat. And this is crocheted on a G hook with any worsted weight. And literally it is in 10 minutes. And I'll link the photo. I did it in black and white.
Yeah.
But I used some Simply Soft. Little baby.
Very nice.
So, and this is with T.B. McCarthy and Jay Peled. And the Remembering Remy. To get some preemie hats from now till, did I not write it down? I think June. I want to say June. They're doing it for 95 days. And there's a Remembering Remy group, and Jessica J. Peled is Knitting Brooklyn. And they both have information on their groups, and I'll link those. And there's prizes for hats you make. But I was thinking, yes, this is quick and in 10 minutes, but it's very holey. And personally,
yeah, it's really a lot tighter on the knitted ones.
The full knitted, because the reason that they put hats on the preemies is because that is, like a fruitcake, that is where the heat source is. So that keeps the heat and it heats their body. So that's, because that's all they have on besides a wee little diaper.
Yeah.
You know, where they can attach all the tubes and stuff. But personally, I would want the knitted, you know, to keep the heat in, because with the holes, that's going to escape.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm sure that the tight knit is much warmer, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know,
that concerned me last night after I whipped this out, you know. I mean, yeah, quick, but.
You want to make sure it's effective.
Effective, you know. Yeah. So, and I know Melia Bella, she has the Sweet Caroline project, and she still collects hats, so, you know, you can donate. She's the His and Hers podcast. I know she still collects hats, and I've sent hats to her, so. But yeah, I'm pretty much, I think they need to be the knitted,
yeah,
the tight.
Plus, it looks like it's got a little more stretch to it too.
Yeah, it does. This didn't seem to have that. There's like huge stretch.
Yeah.
This has lots of stretch.
Yeah, that seems a lot more useful. Like
more
I said,
useful.
it's,
Yeah.
You know, it can grow with them as they're gaining weight. You know, and continuing their
fight.
Yeah.
And Fuji's tossing the pillows again. Just all
So,
shoo. So, was that all my fun in the coop?
Looks like it.
Yep.
Good job. So,
do you want me to go to market or do you want to pick on the farm?
well, I guess we can go into the picking on the farm. So, say cheese, right? Let's get started here. I know that there's been discussion on the photo questions thread dealing with color. And so I wanted to kind of talk about color and some of the issues that you run into primarily with the digital photography, because that seems to be, you know, everybody's concern, how to make the color match what you're actually taking a picture of. So let me kind of take a step back. Back when film was the means at which we took pictures, these systems that, you know, from the beginning to the end were all calibrated. So, for instance, your film that you get put in your camera, they were calibrated to specific colors. When you took it down to your photo development place, they would run it through machines that were all calibrated for color, and the end result was a picture that was calibrated. So, from the beginning to the end, everything color-wise was dialed in, because that, you know, color accuracy is a big issue in photography. And I know when you try, for those that do the hand dyeing, you know, you have your shop on Etsy or Artfire that you're wanting to make sure you relay that color. It's a little more challenging because you're dealing in a digital world. Part of the things that you need to consider with the color is that your system may not necessarily be calibrated. And let me explain what I'm talking about is that you take the picture with your camera, and the camera creates a file, and you put that up on your computer, and your computer displays that image, and you compare it. You know, you grab your yarn out, and you compare that together, and you say, these colors aren't really matching what, you know, what I have in my hand is not matching what is on the screen. And so you may want to make some adjustments. I want to explain. Once you take the picture, and everybody's monitor displays colors differently because the age of the monitor has an impact on that. The way the monitors are set up, a lot of the monitors are set up to be very vivid. There's settings in the monitors where you can adjust vivid or natural and that sort of thing. And everybody has theirs configured differently. There's no standard across the board. So you might get a image, pooch. Sorry about that.
This is someone next door.
Well,
thank you, Farmer Jim.
Thanks, Farmer Jim, for taking care of the animals. Sorry. So anyways, what I was saying is that you may get the colors adjusted for your monitor, and you know it looks like what you have in your hand, and you post that up on the internet, and you don't have control over everybody else's monitor. So oftentimes these things come across even different just based on, you know, your monitor and that sort of thing. So I just want to point this out so you can keep it in mind as both a seller and as a buyer, because, you know, the sellers tend to want to reproduce them as accurately as possible, but they're not in control of all of the elements that you're looking at. So your monitor is not their monitor, and things may look a little different. I'm sure they don't, you know, aren't trying to deceive anyone, because everyone wants to make sure that it's as accurate as possible. But when you're not in control of all the elements, it gets kind of difficult. So that's just a challenge I want to point out in terms of dealing with color and color accuracy and reproducing it. And so just I wanted to point that out, because that is kind of, it seems to be a trend, and the questions was dealing with color. How do I make it look the same? That said, there is a challenge with dealing with color, the natural color that you see with your eyes, and how that gets reproduced electronically into digital files. So let me kind of try and stay not too technical so I don't make you fall asleep and you'll miss the latter half of the podcast. But basically what happens is a digital camera, the way it works, when you take a picture of something, it collects into a photo sensor. And that photo sensor determines through some of the filtering that it has on the sensor itself what part is, you know, red and which part's green, the different colors. It takes that information and then it needs to convert that information into a file. And basically a photo file is a series of numbers. And the way they do that is they have what's called a, my mind's going to go blank. Here, let me look at my notes here. I didn't want to have to do that. See, look at.
You don't have the right notes?
I don't have the right name in my head. So I'll, color. See, I
thought your cheese hat was supposed to be.
Yeah, I think it's making it cheesier. Anyways, but it basically uses a range of colors. Now it's impossible for the camera to reproduce every single color in the light spectrum. And so what they have is they try and cut out a section of the light that represents majority of the color, and you know, if your color is outside of that range, it will try and get it as close as possible. So you'll see some of the color shifts. I know there was a couple questions on the Ravelry group about specifically purples and greens. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a graphic here that kind of explains what's happening. And this is kind of the graph that I'm talking about. Now the triangle in the center, that is the area that your camera can reproduce. And you might notice that the outer edge, this is actually called the visible light spectrum horseshoe. So you see that kind of rounded shape. That is the visible spectrum. The triangle in the center is the colors that can be reproduced by your camera. And so there's shades of color on the outside of the spectrum that your camera is not geared to reproduce. And so the areas are purple, real deep purples or violets will tend to fall out of the area of what the camera can handle turning into a file. So you'll see some color shift. It'll go towards blue because of the fact that the camera just has no way of representing a purple or a violet. And even greens will also fall outside of that area. And so basically you'll see some shift. Now the diagram here, it's kind of looks like there's a lot of green, but it's actually like when you're looking at the globe and how Greenland looks really big on a map, but it's really small. It's just because this is actually a three-dimensional shape. The graph is a two-dimensional picture of that three-dimensional space. So green's really not that exaggerated. It's actually, you know.
Because I was just going to say, woo-wee, there's a lot there.
Yeah, the green is really, it really isn't that much of green, but because it kind of happens in a three-dimensional world, it's just like when you look at a flat picture of the world, Greenland looks huge, but it really is, you know, it's just a small strip of land. It's just the way it's projected. So I just wanted to point out that although they try, you know, cameras do tend to do it fairly well, there's some colors that tend to cause issue. Some of the higher-end digital cameras have a RAW format, and you can actually take that RAW format and work with it a little more. There's actually a set of different color, I wish my brain shut down. There is a other means of, or
filter?
No. There's other ways, other logic. I guess it's an algorithm that they use to generate the colors. There's different algorithms that can be used. The standard one that's used for printers, for monitors, for cameras is the sRGB ColorScape. ColorScape. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the standard one. So, but that is that triangle that I'm showing you here.
ColorScape.
The ColorScape. The triangle is that ColorScape, And what falls outside of it is not really something that can be reproduced. There are other colorscapes that can be used if you can export your file from the camera in RAW format, because those haven't been processed yet, and you can actually kind of extend the area where the colors fall. But like I said, the end result is you don't control the monitor on the other end too. And so all of this kind of comes into play. It's just difficult on some colors to make them look very accurate.
So no matter what you do on your end, on the other person's end.
Well, you can do everything you can. I would like to show a demo on how to work with that. I'm just not set up to do that for this podcast, so I'm not going to have a demo this week. Next week I'll hopefully have a demo. May not be color. My mind is churning on all the different things that I could talk to you guys about. Such as macro photography. I think was one of the things, and that's a really good area to talk about. And I also want to talk about shutter speed and aperture. These are terms that get thrown around that you may not understand how the purpose of them and how they work, and the net result of going, setting one setting this way or setting it that way.
That's what you've tried teaching me.
Yeah, I tried teaching you that, but so
that's that.
She'll just have to watch our podcast, and then she'll understand how to do that. So I've got a couple things going on that I want to do in future episodes. And one of them is I want to talk about kind of, trying to do your best to accurately correct, after you take the picture, it's like what they call post-process your images to try and get them as close as you can, understanding that there are areas that it's going to be a challenge, and it's just the world we live in. There's, so I'm not doom and gloom here. It's entirely possible. It's just certain areas are a little more challenging. So
a little bit more work.
Yeah, a little bit more work. And like I said, I just want to point out, not just for those dyers that are trying to accurately represent what they're selling, but also the buyer. Understand that, what you're looking at, there may be some variation. And so if you're dead set that orange is going to look just like the orange that's on your screen, or the green or the purple, understand that there are challenges that may shift it. So I don't be open that if it's not 100% what you're seeing on the monitor, that's just why. It's just hard to get everything dialed in across the board. So
now, can this also, because I've heard other podcasters say, oh, this isn't showing up. So the same with a camcorder or webcam?
We're filming by a digital mean. This is a digital camera.
Okay. And
so whether we're moving or we're still, it's still a digital camera. And so, when we show up, something that's, this like violet here, this may look a little bit bluer than what we're actually seeing. Because it may hit that outside of the colorscape that the camera can reproduce. I think that one's a lighter pink, purple, violet color that falls in there, but that's just something to consider. I just wanted to kind of shed some light on the challenges with digital. When it was filmed, it was done, everything's calibrated. The end result was a picture that, basically was calibrated throughout the process, and you can, be sure that was as close as you're going to get to accurate, and they did pretty good. Digital, they still do that. Like I said, when I send out images that I'm going to get printed, just kind of take a step back. When I send out images, I do some workup on them. Either some of them are just film, and I send those out and have them scanned in and printed, or I'll send out a digital file. But the people receiving it, their system is completely calibrated. They still do things digitally. They have tools that are called spiders. They put on, it's a calibration for your monitor. It electronically reads what's coming out of your monitor and adjusts the monitor settings so it's dialed right in. And you can do all that, all you want, but the problem is once you put the file up on the internet, someone else's monitor is not dialed in and it won't look the same. But when I send out things to be printed at the printer, their system's calibrated all the way through the process. So they have their monitors all calibrated, their printing machines, which is all, digital, is all calibrated. So, the end result they're in control of. And so what I get back is what I would expect. But, you know, like I said, there's kind of a disconnect when you put it up on the internet. You don't know how it's going to display. Even the browser type. Sometimes the browsers are not profile aware. I'm getting too digital.
You mean
technical.
like Mozilla and all that?
Yeah, the older browsers may not display because I don't want to get too technical here, but there's certain older browsers aren't aware of underlying information in an image that helps them better produce the color that was intended by the person that created the picture. So, and that's called a profile. Not all pictures have that, but some browsers, if there's a profile on there, may not be aware of it, and so it could actually shift the color a bit too. It's kind of crazy, but I didn't want to go too in depth. I know you're yawning. Don't fall asleep, please. Let me pass this back over
Drink the coffee.
pass this back over to Dawn, where she can kind of liven things up and keep you awake. But anyway, so that's, you know, color is a challenge. Just, you know, I don't have an easy way to tell you.
So are you going to go more into this?
What's that? Down the
in
road?
the future, yeah.
Like I said, I want to go not specifically only about color, but how to improve your post-process image, you know, processing. But I use Photoshop. That's the tool I use for editing my pictures.
That's what I was just going to ask.
Yeah, Photoshop is kind of the de facto standard when it comes to the photographic community. But there also is, you know, the Google tool is picked. The Google has a photo. Yeah, well, I don't either, and so I know that's a common tool that's used by people out there. So you may be using it. It's a free tool to use basic, you know, do photo enhancements and that sort of thing. So I wanted to study up on that so I can not only direct it to the expensive photo editing software, but also the free ones that are out there, and kind of help you out regardless of which tool, give you some basic understanding of, you know, levels and that sort of thing that you can use to improve your picture while not shifting colors out of range. And, you know, there's a lot that goes on. So I'll have to come back, you know, I'll have to come back and talk about that some more, but hopefully I don't fall asleep now. So wake up, come on. So, anyways, but that's my little, you know, understanding color and its challenges in digital photography. So and on to knitting stuff. So
to market.
Yeah. So let's go to market.
To market. I've kind of gone quite a bit to market this week. Lollipop Yarn, which her shop is Etsy.com. Shop Lollipop Yarn. Had an update this week. And I got some of her stripy goodness, 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon, 420 yards. But can you even guess what color? In the margarita colorway. Ooh, yeah. It's the pink.
Imagine that.
Ooh, it's the orb. And really, to me, on the screen, the green is not showing up like it is in person.
Yeah. So that's
perfect example. And this is Tickled Pink Tequila and Lush Lime. And it is so soft and squishy.
Yep.
You want to squish?
Gotta
squish
feel
my ball? But yeah, this is so pretty. Jimmy keeps walking, because I put it on the table so I wouldn't forget about it. And he keeps coming over and... Hi, Trouble.
Hi, Trouble. He coming up? Well, the whole farm is active today.
The whole farm is coming.
Now she hand winds that, right?
Yeah, she must. I don't know.
Because I don't know a winder that does winding that way. So.
Yeah, it must take her quite a bit to wind that up. But it is so pretty. And I just love the colors, and I'm thinking, when I wasn't going to order it, and I'm like, oh, I love those colors. I have a lot of this color, but I could never have enough.
Calling out your name,
yeah.
huh?
And then I went to the shop, thanks to Lauren, my Hunger Games sister, BC Yarnings. It's www.berrycolorfulyarnings.etsy.com. And it's fingering superwash 100% in a 2-ply firm twist, 400 yards. And it's the girl on fire. It is so pretty. And it's oranges, couple shades of orange and yellow and blacks, and it's just like perfect. It was exactly what I was thinking, you know,
she
girl
did a good
on
job
fire. So, and it's super soft and squishy and super tight twist, which I really...
I know you like that tight twist on the yarns. Yeah, you can see it there.
Yeah, really good. And then this is her card. And she's a Southern California girl. So I got this really, really quick, too.
Well, the tight twist helps it from being splitty, right? Because you don't pick up the, part of the...
Yeah.
So
she has
nice.
lots of so pretty, and very good pricing, too. It's really awesome. And I have no idea. This is one. I don't have any idea what I'm actually going to do with it.
Wow.
But
that's official stash.
I know. It's a real stash this time. But yeah.
I'm sure you'll come up with something.
Oh, yeah. It's just
So you have to
pretty.
get Hunger Games on DVD, right? And then you can watch through and look for the knitted stuff so you can figure out what you're going to knit with the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Of course, that's down the road because it's still at the
it's gonna
theater.
be a while. And she also, her name's Michelle. She also, I don't know if this will show, sent a cute little stitch marker along with your package as a little added touch. I don't know if you can. It's a little palette, paint palette. So one can never have too many stitch-a-makas. And then more Hunger Game goodness. I went to get, it's called OPI. See, he knows because we were hunting. OPI Bond Aid, because a gal on the Ravelry group, I didn't ask if I could use her name, so I'm not going to, said it. She's a nurse, and she puts that on first as like a base coat, then does she had a whole regime too. I wrote it all down. She said her polish can go 4 weeks. And her being a nurse, she's always washing her hands and bunging them, and went all over town. No luck. No luck. So we ordered on Amazon.com.
Yeah. Delivered to your front door.
Yep. So
let the store come to you.
And then some other stuff might have popped in the cart too. But while I was at this shop called Ulta, they had the Hunger Games nail polish. And I might just have got some more. This is the China Glaze Electrify. Isn't it pretty? Oh yeah. And then I got the China Glaze Luxe and Lush. That is not... Actually, I have that on top of a light pink. Pretty sparkles. And I do got to agree with Lauren Lim Knit Crochet. It is kind of
rough.
So I'm going to need another top coat on it.
Because of the
But she said this
sparkles.
one isn't, rough like this one, because this has bigger sparklies on it. So I got sparkly fingers and sparkly toes. Hunger Games. I'm a big kid now.
Yeah. That's why we're wearing pirate hats and cheese hats.
That's right.
Because we're big kids.
Yeah, Craft Stash also did a plurk today saying, and she even near burned all of us podcasters. Oh, let's have a April hat podcast. I cannot speak or worth a dang. It's the whole month of April, your podcasters should be wearing hats. Of course, we gotta go crazy. The Funny Farm.
That's it. Welcome.
The new podcast name. So, what did you get at to market? You thought you were out of this deal, huh?
Yeah, I thought so. This kind of back to say cheese. I actually picked up a camera. I collect cameras that, like I may have mentioned before, that I tend to have a lot of cameras, and so I'm always looking out for older cameras that, you know, just are unique. And this here is the camera I picked up this week. Is actually an old Nikon, what they call a rangefinder. You actually don't actually see through the lens that's taking the picture, but this camera here is probably about 60 years old. This is one of Nikon's first cameras. Is actually a Nikon S rangefinder. So, but like I said, I haven't actually owned one of these yet, and so when I had an opportunity to pick it up, you know, I couldn't say no. So this is one that'll probably go with the other collectibles I have.
That. Couldn't say no.
Couldn't say no. See.
Couldn't say no.
But anyway, so yeah, kind of photography related, not really knitting.
It's
not
your
really,
stash.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have a stash.
Yes,
I
you do.
don't have projects that I've got earmarked for this, but like I said, this is just kind of a unique.
So how do you take a picture if you don't look through it?
You look through a viewfinder. You actually, you know, this is the taking lens on a rangefinder. These are the viewfinders, and so you actually look through a hole, and you're actually seeing through this window here and this window here, and when you focus, it actually has two images that when you're in focus on your subject, it actually is in alignment. It's kind of hard to explain without seeing. There's like a yellow image and your full color image, and when they line up on your subject, that's when the lens is in focus. That's basically what a rangefinder is. So as you rotate your focus in and out, these images will start to line up depending on how far away the subject is, and it moves the lens according to the distance. So,
Funky.
yeah, well, that's basically how a rangefinder works. So, you know, it's not this, no digital display on the back, so I can't know until I actually take the film and get it developed whether I actually got the picture I was hoping. So.
Now is that 35 millimeter?
Yeah, this is actually a 35 millimeter film. It actually takes a little different format than what the traditional 35 millimeter cameras do. But, you know, it's roughly the same image size as 35 millimeter, but slightly larger. So that's what kind of makes it unique too. So.
Squeal like a pig this week. I was totally shocked, stunned, squealing, jumping up and down, because Amy Beth, the fat squirrel of the Fat Squirrel Squeal podcast, sent me a gift for me to spend. It came with a cute little card. And from there I go again. Friends in Fiber, which the dyers are Peg and Jan, and they live in New Hampshire. And oh, you got to go check out their shop. They even have, because it's Peg that has the llamas and the Angora bunnies, and they show a picture of the Angora bunny. You can get the fiber. I want the bunny. So Amy Beth, I already plurked a picture, a goofy, demented, scary picture. We might put it up here. She sent me fiber, and is that Chianti gradient, or is it Chianti? It reminds me of the Silence of the Lamb, where he says, "Oh, I have it with Chianti and fava beans." That's because I'm goofy. Look at this beautiful fiber. Friends in Fiber. It's a gradient, and it's purple. It's gorgeous purple and
yeah, I like
green.
those colors. It's very, very nice.
Vineyardy. Well, I know Chianti's a wine, so. But oh yeah, I didn't open it yet because it's just. The package looked so pretty. I wanted to show the pretty package. But yeah, so awesome. And
Very nice.
yes.
That was nice of her to send that, and
Yeah.
just out of the blue too.
She is the sweetest. Go watch her podcast because she is a hoot. Don't knit, don't drink, because you're going to be laughing. And the Friends in Fiber, they also, their names are on here too. How about that? friendsinfiber.etsy.com. And And they also send this really cute lavender sachet with their order. And it's BFL and silk. It's just so pretty. And
you have to see how that is when it gets a spin in it.
oh, it's going to be a dream. Amy Beth, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not going to get all... And she's excited about joining our spin-along, and she just went to the zoo this past week and saw porcupines.
Oh.
Girl porcupine and boy porcupine.
Yeah.
Making baby porcupines. I told her she should spin some porcupine. And then, another thing that made me squeal like a pig is Julie A. Reeves sent me the 3 patterns of dishcloths, and they are so pretty. I'm just going to show the one because I don't want to. And she's also under my In the Arena. Printed it out in black and white because it's a pretty green, and I thought I'm going to be ending up knitting all green dishcloths if I see the green. And she's in my In the Arena, so I'm going to kind of transition into that too, because she's Crow Julie on Plurk and Ravelry, and she just started a crochet podcast, and it's called The Fiber Dreams. And she has a sweet little baby too. So I told her she has to show him. So go give her a watch. She has, I think, 1 or she just have two episodes. So that was really sweet of her. Because she said, "Oh, I know how you're into the dishcloths right now." Just a tad bit, huh? And then another podcast I wanted to mention is, we just transitioned into the arena, is The Anatomy of Knitting. I just realized this week she's always had an audio podcast that I've listened to, and I went to catch up on her audio, and she's video. She's gone video. She has 4 video, Erin, of Anatomy of Knitting. Yeah. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. You know, because I've always listened to her, but to see her, too, it's like, oh, yay! You know, she does
I know a lot of times when you're even on video, you still just listen. Unless you have time on the couch to sit down and
because they're usually in my back pocket.
Yeah.
So I'm busy around here, tootling around. So we also have our ending of the Wolf Farms Hatch a Knit for March. And we did the drawing before because we knew we would kind of be getting a longer episode because we got to talking. Yeah. So then it's a pain in the royal patootie to sit there and go through the pictures and try to go through the pages. So anyways, we did do the random number generator. We had 318 entries.
Wow.
Go
Good
you.
job.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Lots of FOs.
A lot of nice things getting put up, and you know.
My queue is getting so much bigger, but it's so much fun seeing all your projects. I get so excited. And the first number was number 289, and that is Pam of Pam Knits in PR, Puerto Rico. And she... That's more Mexico, huh? See the blood sugar starting to go up again.
Say we're hitting towards lunch again.
And she did a beautiful sweater set. She also entered other projects too, but that was the entry for number 289. And she wins the soap and lotion set. So just PM me and let me know your address and which soap and lotion set you would like. And then we're also giving away a $7 or less pattern on Ravelry. And that winning number was number 31. And that's Sally in Idaho. And Sally, she put in a lot of projects too. Yeah. And it was I think she did 2 necklaces, but this was an orange and white necklace on that entry, that one. So, yay!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job for everyone that entered. You know, that's a lot of 318 entries. You know, that's a lot of knitting going on. And, you know, I'm glad we were able to open that up. And, you know, for the prizes, you know, because this was the... You know, not a specific knit along. This was just the, whatever you're knitting, as long as you got the needles going. One of these days, I might actually be able to enter my own contest there, right? Because I will get done. So.
Yep, and we have the Wolf Farms Hatch a Knit for April already up, and we already have someone putting something in.
Good job.
Miss Beagle Mom Knitter, Angela, with her Fruit Loop socks. They're so pretty. So yeah, she's hatching them knits already. I was like, wow, someone already.
Yeah, April 1st.
Yeah, get her in there. And our spin along also starts. Use the tag Wolf Farm Spin Along April. And then I think it's time to round her up.
Okay, well, I just want to take this opportunity to thank all of you that have posted up questions and asked for help. And I've been going on there and seeing that you guys have tried out my photo tips. Actually, Dawn goes on and she tells me and she shows, hey, you got to look at this. So I'm glad my little lighting demo is helping you out, and I see that it really encourages me when I see that you guys are actually benefiting from what I'm the tips that I'm giving you. So I'm hoping that every week I want to bring along something that kind of either shines a light on something or gives you new ways of dealing with your photo challenges and stuff. So I wanted to thank everyone for trying it out, and and I'm glad it's helping. And I do need to get on Ravelry today. I haven't been on probably in the last week, other than the pictures that Dawn is showing me. She's on there all the time. I'm just need to get on there and answer some of your questions and stuff. And I apologize I don't get on there that much, but I will try and get on there at least once a week so that we can get those answered. And like I said, if you have any other questions, I'm interested in hearing what you want to hear about. And I've kind of given you a heads up during my picking on the farm segment of kind of what I want to cover down the road. But there's so much when it comes to photography that that can be talked about, discussed, or otherwise brought to light, and hopefully I can help you out with that. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you, and I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing. So
pretty cool. Yeah. I wanted to mention another charity kind of fundraiser, and it's Sheila D37 on the Knit One Heart 2 podcast. Her friend is who is Paul Churchia. Oops, I know I'm messing it up. Paul. He's going to run in her son's Zachary's name in the Boston Marathon to raise money for the Children's Hospital. And Zachary, her son has, if you watch their podcast, has had lots of medical issues and amazing stuff, that the Children's Hospital has done for him. And so go on over to their group and donate, some money, even if it's just a little bit, to help out. And she's having a contest, so much, you get entered to win, Volmais or, different prizes going on over there. So just wanted to give that a shout out and to let you know about it and to go check it out.
Yeah.
And
go help out, because that's what charity's all about. So,
Yeah.
Take a little extra time out of your busy life and go help someone else out. And, like I said, that's how charities work. That's people donating their time and efforts to help out those that really have a need. So, so anyways, so
I think that's about it.
Yeah, and I think we got, don't forget, when you're placing an order at Wolf Farm, if you want, you can get a free video podcast button. Just put in the comments as you're going through the checkout that you'd like one, and we'll be happy to send one along with your order. And you can decorate your knitting bag, and and the very stylish Wolf Farm podcast button. So
Yep.
So anyways,
So until next time,
let's get cracking
and hatch a knit.
Bye
Bye, y'all.
y'all.
Brr.